My name is Christina, and I do it for the culture.
I'm Alicia, and I do it for the culture.
I'm Chad Ward, and I do it for the culture.
I'm Donald Glover Suit from the Black Panther Premiere, and we do it for the culture.
We do it for the culture. No.
No.
I am.
Yes.
Going on 4 years this year. We don't actually have an exact anniversary date.
I feel like everybody wants all of the benefits of being in a relationship without the hard work.
I am personally working on myself as an individual, and I feel like dating is complicated. We make it complicated.
Fixing myself, just making sure that whoever I was going to be with, I was a man enough to meet all their needs and also be a man, for myself and the people around me, and be able to influence them. So, yeah.
I think it was by choice, just because I didn't think mentally I was ready for commitment. I think that was pretty much it.
My last ex was an asshole. Point case. He was just horrible. Honestly, now that I think about it, and I had the time away from him, he was just ridiculous. It was just had to be his way or the highway. He was always right. And everybody know me, I'm very confrontational, so that didn't work for me. So I've been having to deal with that. Selfish people. I don't know. I feel like if you're in a relationship, you should be in it to please the other person, because if they're doing the same thing, then you don't have to worry about yourself. And that's not what I was getting.
People not taking their time. I just feel like everything is a rush. I think it's important to get to know the person. Nobody really takes that time to really get to know the person that they're trying to date. Just because we're dating doesn't mean we have to be, have a sexual relationship. So I feel like everybody has their own definition of dating.
Falling too fast, I would say that would be my biggest downfall. Because I'm a lover, I would say I'm a lover. Reciprocity, not giving something and not giving it back. As much as I give, not giving it all back to me. So those are probably the two main things.
Me loving hard, being a Scorpio, we love really hard and we love really fast. So I think that was smothering the people who I was interested in, and it made them push away.
I went to high school with her. I always thought she was a beautiful young lady that had standards, morals for herself. And then I tried a few times, it didn't work out. I guess the timing wasn't right, but I tried the third time, and everything just was clicking on all cylinders after the first date. So that's when I kind of decided to, pursue it more, and today we're still dating. So.
Okay, so what actually happened was I seen him after high school was over 4 years ago at that time, and I was like, dang, I don't remember him being so cute. And then it just so happened that his birthday was around the corner, so my best friend was like, okay, girl, if you text happy birthday, then it is what it is. So he kind of bit the bullet a little bit and took it from there and invited me out or whatever. So I guess I was already kind of interested, and
I would definitely say social media for sure, because at one point there was no social media. So I feel like that plays a major role, because we see these couples on YouTube or social media, but that's just a perception. So I just feel like nobody knows.
It can go one of two ways. If you don't show your significant other enough, it's just are you ashamed of them, or you don't want the world to know that you're in a relationship? And then if you show them too much, it's people getting tired of it. And then you have the people who oh, that's who you dated, I'm gonna go after them. I don't know, people are strange. And I just feel like if we minded our own business more on social media, then it wouldn't be that bad.
Everybody's looking to social media and looking for these relationship goals, and then You have couples who are posting to social media just for show or just for validation of others. And it shouldn't be like that. You should post because you two are happy and you want to show and express your love.
Hygiene. That is hygiene and how you carry yourself. That's just non-negotiable.
The first one would be just cheating. I feel that there's no need to do that. I'd rather you leave me or tell me that you're going to leave me before you go and do something like that.
I think I'm pretty open-minded. I'm pretty flexible. I think years ago I used to have a lot of like deal breakers, but I think that led me to why I chose to be single for so long. So now this time around I'm gonna be open-minded.
Pretty flexible except for like lying and like the way they treat their family. I'm a big family-oriented person. I hang with my family all the time. More often than not, I'm with them over my friends. And if they treat their family horribly, I can't be with them. They can't treat me good if they treat their family like shit.
I think what balances us out is she's feisty, I'm more calm. So it's like, I'm always like, if the cable bill was too high, she might call and like, I'm like, yo, you need, just take it easy, like. So yeah, I think that's our balance right there. Like she's, and I'm more laid back.
Some people take it to the extreme, just like only caring about themselves. And like you gotta find a balance. You have to have your best interests at heart, but you gotta be able to care about your partner as well.
Somewhere in the middle, I want to say like I'm standing on the fence, but like my foot is more so on the hopeful.
I have an optimistic outlook on love despite my experiences. So I would say hopeful.
Yeah, I would say I'm a hopeless romantic. I believe in the whole big house, nice cars, 4 or 5 children, a beautiful wife, being able to share a bond with her and my kids, big backyard, playing catch or playing basketball, dunking on my kids and things like that. Those are some things that I believe in and I hope for. So.
I think it's so cliche, and I think I've heard like a million people say it. The one where they're like, have you fell from heaven? You must be, something like you must be an angel because you fell from heaven or something like that.
I've received, of course, let's play one-on-one because I played basketball and I was an athlete, and that's just the only thing people can seem to come up with. And that just, it's like, can you say something else other than play me one-on-one?
It wasn't really something I said, but there was had the basketball emoji, and after that I put like 3 periods, and I think I said something like, "Oh, my basketball rolled in here," so I don't know. It was something along those lines, and it actually worked.
I don't know, it's all consuming. It's just like, all you can think about is the other person. Are you doing enough for them? Are they happy? Are you happy being with them? I don't know. It's not necessarily all about the other person, but it's like you in respect to them.
No, I don't think I have been in love before.
No, reason being is because to me, that in-love experience is not ideal. It's unrealistic. Think about it. When you're in love, you don't see any flaws in that person during that phase of being in love, right? You don't see anything wrong with that person, but as time goes on and reality sets in, you're like, oh, I didn't know he did that, or he acted that way, or, you know what I'm saying? So to me, that's where a lot of relationships fail, because, I mean, that in-love experience can last a year, 2 years. You could just be head over heels for a person, and then boom, he's a totally different person because now you're back down to reality. So I wouldn't say I would say I experienced that in-love experience. But again, you eventually get out of that and you're like, okay, so this is who he is, because people show themselves and reveal themselves over time.
Love is beautiful. It's like know, like a warm sensation that you get for a person. And when they reciprocate their love back to you, I don't know, it's just, so I guess for myself, if I find myself thinking about the person that I love, like instantly, like I just feel like a warm sensation that runs through my body. And I know it's not infatuation or lust or anything like that. It's just like I love that person because of who they are, not what they do, the things that they sacrifice for me. Because the person that they are was compelling enough for me to fall in love with them. So I mean, as far as feeling, all I can say is one.
I think it's an amazing picture to me. I think that honestly, in this relationship, we definitely hit it like, on all angles. I think that we got it, like the respect is there. Like we motivate each other. We have meetings. We sit each other down. Like, babe, where are you with your goals? Like, we said our savings was gonna be this and this amount. Like, to be honest, we're not serious. We went out to eat such and such amount of times last week. Like, why did we do that? Like, where's our balance? Like, you said, yeah, let's go. Why did you do that? I said I shouldn't have brought it, but that's my, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like we gotta check ourselves. And I think that before we actually jumped into a relationship, we said we wanted to be friends for so long, because you want to know the person. Like, I want to know how you are in traffic, how you are when you're late to work, how you are when you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, how you are when you're at your happiest, your lowest, when your money ain't right. Do you just cut me off to the side? You know, we wanted to know each other in all these different spaces. So when it came together nicely. Like, we were ready, we knew what it was. So.
Just be yourself. And if you set like rules and boundaries for yourself, don't negotiate on them. Like, you set them for a reason. So like, don't just say, oh, well, I can bend a little bit for this. If it's not something outrageous, then the other person, if they meant for you, they should understand.
Before dating or before getting into a relationship, you have to make sure you're internally right with yourself, that you're whole, complete, you love yourself, you accept yourself before you seek that in someone else.
Friendship first, number one. And number two, make sure your ducks in a row and your porch is swept before you go sweeping other people's porches.
Don't rush. That's what I got. I mean, that's what I feel like. This is my most successful relationship, and I feel like that's why, because we were friends for like a long amount of time before we actually made it official. So I would tell everybody not to rush.
Don't settle for anything. Make sure the person that you are pursuing is showing that same chase. If not, I'll say back off, because it's going to bite you in the butt, and it's not gonna feel good. If you want somebody to want you just as much as you want them, and sacrifice. Love is sacrificing the things that you do, or some things that you do for that person, and being able to love them wholly, unconditionally.